Alright everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to go over how to use leg drive in the bench press, as I see a lot of people using it incorrectly and maybe being a little bit too loose in the body, or maybe lifting their butt off the bench when they drive too hard. So I figured I'd throw a little video together, go over why we're using leg drive and then ways we can think about the leg drive to make it more efficient. So we'll get right into it, and the first one being the reasons why we're doing it. So have some of the reasons listed here. One being we're trying to get a bigger arch, and that's going to come not only from manipulating the shoulders with depression and retraction, but also manipulating the hips and the position of the legs to get some force towards the weight onto the shoulders and then create the arch from both sides. We also want to create better angles for our pec muscles, especially getting it to more of a decline position to make it more efficient for those pec muscles to press. And then another reason is that we want to create a stronger base. So we don't want to be too relaxed on the bench. Then the weight's going to kind of push us around. So if you bring it down too fast, or maybe you hit the torso a little bit too hard, then your arch may collapse, or you may get pushed to one side or the other side. So you want a nice, strong base. Everything is tight on the bench and on the floor, and that's going to give you the foundation to then press the big weights. Regardless of how heavy it is, you want to maintain that tightness. So it doesn't matter if you're a 700-pound bencher or a 200-pound bencher. When you're getting to your max and you're on that bench, you want to be as stable as possible and not let it push you around. And you'll see this in some other videos. Like if you go watch some of Dave Tate's videos on bench press, when he has lifters set up, he'll actually go next to them and with his knee or his leg kind of nudge them from one side, nudge them from the other side, and see if they kind of move, if they topple over, if they move, or if they're kind of staying tight in place while he's pushing them, to see whether they actually have that tightness. And then that will lead to some of the logistics, which is kind of going over a little bit deeper into what we said in the purpose. Is we want full body tension. So that way we have the strong base to press from. And also when you do drive your legs, that force is going into, like I said, pushing all the weight onto your shoulders, maintaining that arch, decreasing that range of motion. We don't want the force to go into movement of creating a bigger arch during the actual lift. So if you have, like, let's say 50% of your arch, and then you push even further and get up to 80% or 100% of your maximum that you can arch, then the force during the movement is going into that transfer of position. We don't want to do that. We want to already have our maximum position, our maximum tension, and then that force is just maintaining that maximum arch and that maximum tension. And that goes into the second thing, which we want constant tension. Some people are a little bit too relaxed when they take the bar out of the rack and they're bringing it down, and then they start driving their legs after the press command. But at that point, it's too late. We want to create that full body tension as we're doing our setup. Some people will maybe finish it up after they take the bar out. They like having their butt up or their heels up, take the bar out, set their shoulders, and then set their butt, set their feet. But before you get that start command, you should already be at that full body tension, and then you're going to maintain that tension from the start command through the press command and into the rack command. That way, that strong base is being maintained the whole time, and you're not trying to create tension or create that base while you're actually pressing under a heavy load. And then the last thing, which goes very much into keeping the butt down, is the direction of force. A lot of people try and think of pushing straight down. What happens oftentimes when you push straight down through the heels is then the reaction force is your butt coming up off the bench. Instead, what we want to do is we want to push horizontally. Okay, so we're sliding on the carpet, or if you're on wood or whatever, you think about sliding your feet on the carpet horizontally. So if you're pushing, let's say you're facing direction where you're pushing your feet to the left, you're pushing your toes to the front of your shoes, then that opposite force is going to be to the right, which is going to push your body up the bench. What's stopping your body from actually sliding up the bench is obviously the friction between your singlet or your t-shirt and the bench, and that's why we chalk our back and everything to create more friction. So now that we're not sliding up the bench, what we're instead doing is pushing all our body weight up onto our shoulders, up onto our traps, and maintaining that arch, maintaining that angle for our pecs, and then creating that constant tension for that stable base to press from. All right, so hopefully that gives you a little bit more of an idea of like what the purpose is for leg drive in the bench press and how to implement it to, like I said, maintain that tension from the beginning to the end, and keeping your butt down by thinking more about pushing horizontally, the toes through the front of the shoes, rather than pushing vertically down and lifting your butt up. And if you have any other topics that you would like for me to discuss, then you can just comment them down below. All right, thanks for watching.